We are here at Scarcroft Golf Club for my annual golf day. It's a Ryder Cup event. We're looking forward to a good day. So this year I wanted to do something a little bit different, and last 2 years I've done some short game, I've done some putting, and I got a bit bored doing that. So I decided to get Luke in from Essex, and he was a professional golfer originally, and he's just transitioned into long drive. And you're about to go and compete in Germany next week in World Long Drive Championships. He's 4th in Europe, and yeah, welcome.
Cheers, Ben. Yep, thank you. Yeah, so I think Ben just pretty much summed up me. So I've got the European finals this weekend, so I can be competing against the current world champion, Martin Borgmeier. I don't know if any of you know Martin. He's like a ginger guy with a big beard. So he's the current world champion, and then Joe Miller that most of you would know from the UK. So he'll be competing as well. So it's going to be tough, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So
can you still hear me? Who's your swing coach?
My swing coach is Lee Cox.
And so obviously, what does Lee Cox do with you? And he works with Joe Miller as well,
so,
right?
Yeah, he works with Joe Miller and Martin. So he's coached to quite a few world long drive champions. So
yeah. And another thing we've had to do last minute is we've had to source some left dash Pro V1Xs because they use a different ball to what we use. And I don't think I'm not going to try and attempt one of these, but to get the biggest distance out of it, he's going to be using these to try and get it there. And it's 406 yards to the front. Is there anyone that thinks he's going to get it there? Oh, that's about 25%.
It's quite disappointing, actually.
I mean, that's a bit pathetic of a response, that one. So, actually, I'm just going to take them straight out of the packet because I don't want to get them wet. So, should we start hitting some, Luke? I'll hit a driver just to, set the tone.
So what I'll do in the meantime is
Also ladies' tees.
I'll pass around my
Red
driver.
t-shirts.
Now the difference with my driver is 48 inches, so it's sort of 3 inches longer than standard. The head is a special long drive paradigm head, so it's 4.5 degrees. You have to source it from America. I've got it turned down to 2.5 degrees, just to give you an idea. So it's like the loft of most putters, maybe less. So, and the shaft is 40 grams, and it's the equivalent of a lady senior flex. So the more whip, the more flex, the more whip, the more speed we can get. And I've also got a light 25 gram grip, so it's half the weight of a normal grip. So any reason to cut weight and gain speed. So I'll just pass it round. If you want to pass it round, just give it a waggle because it's quite ridiculous. So
I'm just going to hit a couple here just to give them something to look at.
if you break it, you have to pay for it.
Oh, guaranteed fairway.
On the green.
Go. Oh God,
yes, it
got
does,
over
Jamie.
110. Sam, can you believe it?
So what's that?
Have we
110,
got normalised
111.
one yet? 254. What?
Big hit for you.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, I'm using scuffed up bunker balls that I've been using. I'll give it another crack. I'm not warmed up yet. You've got to give me time.
Luke, taking the weight out the back of the head, even though it's an official long drive head,
Yep.
you still do it.
Yeah, just to save weight. Plus also, when you've got a club that long, the swing weight becomes quite heavy. So it's like an E6. So most drivers, like standard, of sort of maybe D3, D4, something like that. So with these, because they're so much longer, the swing weight becomes really heavy. So yeah, but and it will add speed. So
Right, I'm going to hit one more, Luke. Get your driver out. Oh, yeah, sorry. You're going to go with first? What are you going to hit first?
I can go straight into driver if you want.
Luke, what's the difference in distance if you used a practice ball and then transferred to a brand new ball? What's the difference in the comparison?
So I think I saw a study once, it's about 30 yards
Yeah, so
between a scuffed ball and a brand new ball.
Yeah, so that's my practice bag ball, Aiken's Key. A few 100 million shots have been hit with that. And then you got obviously brand ball, but even one like scuff on it can be up to 30 yards with the spin rates and stuff. So it makes quite a dramatic difference in terms of distance. So I've just got a much more newer Pro V there. I just carried it 265, 162 ball speed, really fast.
So what's that, about tour average? I think 115's tour average.
I've necked that just before it happens on the screen.
We'll get you up here, Jamie, if you start
Fat
now.
power, Jamie, fat power. Oh. Right, come on, Luke.
I can't see my club, I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, someone senior
Someone's run
flex,
off.
that sounds like my kind of...
Maybe we'll
Club?
get you to hit one. Do you want to hit one, Ben? Do you want to hit one?
with...
My club.
Jesus.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll give it a crack. Why not?
Thank you. I'm going to predict it now, it's going to go straight right. Yeah.
Do I have to tee it up like one of these guys as well?
Yep. Otherwise it won't. 2.5.
2.5 degrees.
2.5 degrees. By the way, if anyone's got any questions about like speed training or how they might want to add some speed, just fire away. I know we're a bit short on time. Usually I can do clinics, like instructional clinics for like 3 hours, so I'm going to try and condense it down, and you know, mostly you want to see me hit some shots, so if you've got any questions, just fire away.
Yeah, we're just building up the suspense.
So look, it's 2.5 degrees.
Yeah.
So before we actually see your ball, how high can we expect your ball to be when it sails over the ditch?
I'd like to say, you see where that sort of jet stream bit is?
Yeah.
I'd like to say around just bottom half of that. So
Yeah, we're also
Depends how I
letting
hit
it
it
warm.
as well.
We're also letting it warm up as well, because the warmer it gets, the further it's gonna go. Wish me luck. Oh my days! What?
if you green it, I'm giving up.
Yeah, you can go home then. What if I sky it? You buy it?
Yeah. So because the loft is so little, you have to actually, to get the ball in the air, you have to do it through angle of attack. So for us, angle of attack is anywhere between like 6 and 10 on the up. That's how we launch the ball. So. You're going to read out the numbers? Do you want to read out the numbers?
Yeah. So, if you guys want to keep an eye on the computer, we've got numbers on here for TrackMan. It's telling you carry numbers, club head speed, which is how fast is swinging it, and ball speed's the reaction off the face, and carry is how far it's going. Where on earth did that go? So that was a nice measly. Where did you strike that one, Luke?
Off the toe.
Off the toe. 146 club head speed. And bear in mind, did we all see what mine was with that driver? 116. So it's only 30 miles an hour faster and 200 ball speed.
Miss hit.
Only 310 carry though. I have not got a clue where that's going, and I've got good eyesight. Oh, 347 carry. Come on, Luke. It's pathetic.
I was a bit heely, so.
How much carry?
347. We could do with someone up there to see where it's landing, because oh, I saw that one. Oh, go on. What numbers were they saying? So, for anyone that has played here before, which you all have, most of you, there's a ditch up there and it's about 330 carry. So obviously if he gets it over that, with a bit of run, it's probably going to get there. But there's no run today. Yeah, but he hasn't hit one properly yet.
No, I haven't hit one out the middle yet.
Yeah, come on, give him time.
What was that then? What was that carry?
That was 340, but that was fast.
It's getting faster.
348. Yeah, 148. So where have you struck that one, Luke?
We're still using the practice balls, remember?
Yeah, so bear in mind he's still using the rubbish balls. So when he starts to get a proper ball out, when he's warmed up, but they're 50 quid a dozen, so unfortunately he's only got 24 attempts with them.
Yeah, I mean, more noise the better, so if you want to shout.
Fade! So Luke, how many balls does it take you to warm up?
About 50 balls.
And how many balls are you on at the moment?
Well, probably like, I haven't hit probably about
How many
15
drivers?
drivers.
What is your PB, Ben? Luke? What is?
Mine's like 117, mate.
That's your quickest.
153 mile an hour.
153 and ball speed.
220.
Wow.
Rory's, yeah, but I think he averages like 120 club, 122, 124, and then about 180.
.333 that. It's amazing how straight you're hitting it actually.
149.
149, get faster. Doing you ready for a brand new one?
Can do.
Come on, Luke. Let's just do it. Make sure I put some of my loving on it.
This is a brand new ball, is it?
Look, when did you realise you could hit it a long way?
When I started going to the gym, lifting weights.
Pretty much, yeah. So when I turned pro, I just found that no one hit it past me. I was just hitting it past everyone, and I've never been the straightest, but yeah, just, you know, my coach, because I'm based at the Shire in North Barnet, so my coach there is Lee Cox. He's like a long drive specialist, distance coach, and last year he just said, look, there's a long drive event in the UK, go for a bit of fun, and I did and just loved it. Yeah, it's completely different to normal golf, but you know, I just fell in love. I came sixth with just my normal play driver, so from there it's just like, well, if I actually trained for it, because I didn't do any training for it and didn't have a long drive driver, if I did that, you know, I could get pretty good. So yeah, I just loved it. So
Come on, Luke,
Yeah.
we want to see this brand new ball.
all right, mate. All right.
We're on the time limit.
How's your putting been since you took up?
Don't talk about that, Simon. Below
better
my
than
neck.
Ben's.
That's why he's doing long drive. Leave that to me.
I can hit a putter off the tee.
Yeah, he'll give you a putter off the tee if you want. For left.
It's too high on the face, that.
341. Disappointing. Oh, that was full launched. 218 ball speed, 360. 380 total. Can anybody see this land? On the left? Yeah, there's no point picking these balls up. Like, we've tried that one, but you won't be able to hit it, so it's a bit pointless.
Sell them though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even sell them. That looks like a good strike, Luke. 219 ball speed.
Yeah, so generally with the long drive events,
148.5 and 361 carry, 380 total again. So he's got a good average.
so generally with the long drive events, we get about 35 to 60 yards to hit it within. So you can't just, can't just go anywhere. It's got to be within a certain parameter, like we call it a grid. So yeah, let's sort of side to side. Really. So, okay, so each set we get 6 shots. So you get 6 chances. And it's not a case of whoever hits it the longest that day wins. It's like you have to go through rounds. So you have to come top half of your group to advance, and then so on and so on. And then generally the top 8 will do like a match play. So 1-on-1, 6 balls each. And the longest out of the match play goes through and wins. So yeah, that's generally how it works. So.
You getting tired, yeah?
No,
Do you want me to
up.
hit some?
Just warming up.
Well, I'm going to hit one after
Sure.
this one. So I don't stiffen up.
So what was that, 219?
219, yeah. What's your record?
220.
220. It's a bit quiet though.
Yeah, I need some.
Don't you think?
Hold him back.
Come on, man. Let's have a 400.
You could do it, like sun's shining. Bring it on.
Oh, wow. That sounded different.
There's smoke coming off that one.
Do you have any targets for yourself as far as progressing?
Yeah, so currently 4th in Europe. I've got one event to go this season. I want to finish 2nd. It's the most I could finish in this season.
What does that equate to as far as
Worldwide.
speed?
Oh, I see. Yeah, so I'd love to get to 230 ball speed and about 155 mile an hour. But I just want to see how far, far I can get. Really.
What progression have you done, just say, when you stopped playing as much professional scoring golf and more into world long drive?
Yeah, so in three years, I've gone from 125 to 153. So
So that's a 25 mile an hour
basically,
jump in club head speed.
yeah.
And how have you done that?
Just through speed training. So there's only 2 ways you can really add speed.
Yeah.
One is through speed training, and basically that's how I would describe it is. So how I would describe speed training is like, say you wanted to train for a certain distance run, say 5 kilometers, and you were to do 5 kilometers twice a week. Naturally, you'd get quicker the more you do it. So that's how I see speed training. So like in the net, just hitting like 30 balls full out, just focusing on club head speed, regardless of strike or anything. Just focus on club head speed and try and get that as quick as you can twice a week, and that will be enough to just get your swing speed quicker. Same with ball speed if you just to focus on ball speed. The other way is actually swing mechanics. So if we relate it back to running again, if I told you to take longer strides, that would make you go quicker. You'd be more efficient in your technique to make you go quicker. So there's certain things you can do in your swing to make you go quicker as well. The least intrusive it would be speed training, because you don't have to change your swing at all. So they're the 2 only ways you can actually gain speed. So
What what would be the best way for anyone here to gain speed with not having quite the athleticism that you do?
Speed training.
Just literally speed training.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's smashing drivers.
Yeah, it's the fun bit.
But you, go on.
So what you were saying there, Luke, is do you have like two types of swings then? So you have like a long drive swing and an actual golf course swing?
Yeah, for me, yeah. So I couldn't take this onto the course. As you see, like I've got, some of them are lost in the trees, so I couldn't play with that. So what I've managed to do, coming from a golf background, I can actually just switch between the two quite easily. I just see it like a different swing. If I was to hit a hook, for example, that's a different swing, and that's how I sort of, do the difference. So, yeah.
Come on, let's have one.
All right, I've cooled down. I've cooled down now. I need to.
Even the computers got tired.
Yeah.
The only problem is these speeds are like insanely fast, but the TrackMan, because it's going into the sun, the carry distance, and because it's getting blocked by the trees, is probably not relatively correct, is it? The carry numbers for
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're correct.
because
personally.
like this is, some people have seen it going up there with lasered it. It's probably where you can see that bunker.
That looked like that went in that bunker.
Did it definitely? So I mean, it's 406 to the front edge. So and it's 347. So
It's only reading 364.
yeah, so it's actually not reading it right because it's going over the trees. But it's driven the green already, so
Torn up the ground a bit, fortunately. Maybe the head greenkeeper's not here.
oh dear.
Oh dear.
That's in somebody's garden. Slash.
Didn't hear a smash.
Yeah, it didn't smash.
Didn't smash.
Hopefully it ricochets back in because that's £5 gone. So he's got a good average. He's always around 217 ball speed. And if you saw my ball speed, it was around 263, or maybe 5 if I'm lucky. So it's only 60 miles an hour faster. Yeah, I haven't had breakfast this morning, so that's probably why. Any excuse.
Neither have I.
So Luke, let's just, obviously, we're going to have a go now at trying to, I'll hit one, and Luke is going to try and see what techniques I can use in my swing to gain extra yardage that you could use yourself. Yeah, he uses butter. So recently I've just got a different driver that's actually been developed. I usually use a Torre D Graphite Design DI6X extra stiff, but this one is a Flex TX, so it's tip stiff, so that part of the shaft here is a lot stiffer. And I've had it for a couple of months, but I just haven't developed the speed yet to put it in play. But when I hit it harder, it will allow me to hit it harder without kicking left and going left. So I'm going to start hitting some a lot harder anyways. Oh, well, I'll start off with a nice steady one.
So it says here 243 carry.
Yeah, that
243
wasn't a good
carry.
strike though. And I'm back to
So it's
using the
260
dodgy balls
total.
as well. Tricks and distances.
Nice.
That was a good strike.
Yeah. 160 ball.
160. 265 carry. Straight down the middle. Yeah, but I've not get myself a proper ball out. I've got to try that.
Go 100 yards further.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than hitting a brand new ball without a bounds on the left, is there? So, as well, we've got Lyle here today, who's our sports psychologist. If we're on this first tee and it's out of bounds down the left, which a lot of members have issues with down here in the past, what would I do to like block that out?
First thing to point out is quite naturally the brain goes into identifying danger and threat, which is quite evident here. So like you said, and I think when we actually look at science as well, the brain doesn't understand the word don't. So I'll just get a raise of hands here. How many of you in a situation like this would say don't go out of bounds left? Okay, so basically what you're telling me is, and how the brain comprehends that is, go out of bounds left. And what happens afterwards as well is it drives all your attention towards the thing that you're trying to avoid, which actually then increases the likelihood of that thing happening. So one of my jobs as a sports psychologist is not actually to tell you you're doing anything wrong, because actually in that moment your brain is doing the right thing. It's trying to highlight potential dangers and threats and help you navigate it. But the way that we process it actually works against us. So rather than trying to block it out in terms of one thing, is actually being aware of that process, but then saying, where do I actually want my focus to be? So in this situation, Ben will do a good example there. So we know that we've got that danger left, don't go left sort of approach from that side of it. What actually would be more important for you to focus on in this moment? Where do you actually want your attention to be?
So what I do in practice rounds is I'll always I'll have a compass on my phone, and I'll check the wind direction first of all, because I want to know where my ball, what kind of flight I'm going to hit it on. I generally hit it very straight, maybe a very soft fade. And then what I'll try and do is make sure I'll make the target as small as possible. So we're talking, you can see there's a bunker right up there on the left-hand side of the green. I'm actually looking just right edge of that bunker, and then what I'll do is I actually pick an intermediate target in between. So I'll look at the left edge of the green and I'll pick something just on the floor, a foot in front, and my entire focus is to hit a straight shot on this little thing right in front of me. And that's how I would remove all this out of bounds left, ditch right, everything like that. Just focusing on an intermediate target and forgetting about all the danger. Right, I'm going to hit a couple more, and well, what would I do now, Luke, to gain some more speed on that shot?
Yeah, so if I was to change your swing, the sort of lowest hanging fruit would be to increase your hand path. So you hold that for a minute. So is that working? Oh, it's working now. Okay, perfect. So yeah, so increase your hand path. So if I was to explain it like a punch, for example, I'd be able to create a lot more force from further away than I would close. So that's called, getting too technical, it's linear force. So the further around the clock my hands go, the more speed I can generate. And then you've got like angular force. So that would be like your wrist angle, how far the club head goes round the clock. Like if you were to hit a hammer, if you had a little bit of wrist cock, you wouldn't be able to create much force. If you have more, you'd be able to create more force. So that would be the least intrusive, lowest hanging fruit type of way I would get you to increase your speed. So that might be, however you achieve that, it might be more turn, it might be lifting your heel up, just to get your hands, I would say, behind your head. Yep, bit more wrist cock as well.
John Daly.
Yeah. Go back.
Look, your club head goes right round to your left hip.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It's just that what I explained.
Is this going to get me? Is this going to get me to 280?
It won't. It's only a couple of swings. It won't do anything. Won't break your swing. Don't worry.
I've got tour school next week. Bad strike.
Okay, so what's that? 112. What's your highest today?
Well, I've not been hitting them, have I? So probably 110.
Yeah, so it's a little bit faster. And there's nothing that's going to make it jump massively. There's not one change. There's always a lot of, you'll pick up 1 mile an hour by doing that, you'll pick up another mile an hour by doing something else. And there's a lot more technical stuff you can go into, like ground force reaction and centre of mass and things like that. Yeah.
I noticed on his left foot, I flare my foot open. Will that restrict turn and will that decrease speed if I have my left foot turned open?
Yeah, it will a little bit, because if you're maxing out your sort of external rotation in your hip, you're not going to be able to get it, further back. Also, you can compromise the ground forces a bit. The more you turn your toe in, the more you'll be able to push back and sort of create a lot more rotation and horizontal force. Like you can, your toes are the launch pads, so the more you can push off, you can't really push off it from flared out. So if you had it more turned in, you'll be able to push off it more. You can see where my feet are, the marks on the ground where my foot has actually pushed back.
So we've got 5 minutes, well, less than 5 minutes. So I'm going to hit one more, and Luke's going to give us one more shot, attempt the green.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, I'm just not very fast, unfortunately. It's not my game. I'm a wedge player. Right, so he's going to have 2 attempts. How are we going to get you hitting it this as far as possible?
Bit of noise.
Yeah, he did say to me, so he whispered it to me, he said don't tell them, but they've been too quiet here. Long drive events, if you've ever been to one, it's loud, it's noisy, it's like live events, isn't it?
Yeah, it's drinks flowing, it's music banging, it's
It's not that etiquette.
yeah, it's no etiquette. Well, just don't shout any abuse.
So as much noise as we can get then, let's go. Come on, Luke. Here we go.
What a song choice.
150 club? Good.
Yeah, that's fat. 150 club head speed. Get it back on.
I predict a riot.
Okay, see if I can break 220. We'll try and break 220, see what. Come on. Come on.
All right.
Not as good, that one.
How's that, Luke?
No, I can't end on that one.
I know I'm crying inside, unfortunately.
The right
Better be all
ones are
buying
all right,
raffle
aren't they?
tickets today for these golf balls. Come on. That is a monster. That's just gone into the bush at the back. I swear it has.
Energy throughout the crowds.
Yeah, yeah, it's all adrenaline. So the more noise, the more music, the more it fires you up, and you will be quicker with adrenaline.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So actually, like the first few shots that you hit there, did he feel a little bit unusual and weird to have like full silence?
Yeah, it's unusual for an event, but it's when you're warming up, it's quite normal. So yeah, used to it, but yeah. So.
Ben's first wedge shot.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna end it there just because of time. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you out there. Lou's going to come and hit some shots, so let's clap Luke and me maybe.